Hello viewers, welcome to the Health Talk Show. Thank you once again for joining us for today's program. I'd like to make a special acknowledgement to Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajiman Prempe and Mr. Benjamin Ajiman Prempe. Thank you for giving us this platform to share the little that we know. Promised Land Faith Ministries has 3 branches. The Faith Temple, which is located at Tema Community 1 behind the Gold Filling Station. The Dominion Temple, which is located at Doimu off the Shire Hills Akosombo Road, and the Victory Temple, located at Ashiama 40 Rooms at Tadika. Our weekly programs are as follows. On Mondays, we have online Bible studies between the hours of 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. On Wednesdays, we have Faith Hour at the Faith Temple between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. On Fridays, we have Manifestation Half Nights, which starts from 7 p.m. And every last Friday of the month, we have our Dominion All Night at the Doimu Temple. On Sundays, we have our First Service, which is the Victory Service at the Faith Temple, which starts from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And in the evening, we have another service at the Victory Temple between the hours of 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please like, share, and subscribe. The program lineup of PCTV as follows. On Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., we have Visitation Hour with Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajiman Prempe. And on Thursdays, we have Inspirational Hour with Pastor Jessica between the hours of 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. And on Sundays, between the hours of 4 to 5 p.m., we have the Health Talk Show. I would like to quickly go over the sponsors. Promise City TV Online, Ben Benny Travel Consult, Lighters Media, ABAB Partners, Hemco Enterprise, Frill Automation Limited, Prissy Logistics, Ken Lee Company, Decovas Enterprise, Reps Household Limited, and E-Fashion Boutique. Thank you for joining us once again. Please, before we begin with the discussion, I will ask that you share, like, and subscribe so that another person will be blessed as you are also blessed listening to us. Today is another day and is a day the Lord has made, so we will rejoice and be glad in it. Today we have in the studio Madam Zenobia Botchway. She was here with us 2 weeks ago to have a discussion on the immunization schedule. Today, she's here to discuss with us on the topic, hepatitis B. Madam Zenobia, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, viewers, so before we start with the discussion, please, I would like to remind you once again, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section, and then Madam Zenobia will help us answer the question. Okay. So, as we start off, please, what is hepatitis B?
Thank you once again for having me. Hepatitis B is simply the inflammation of the liver. That's what I would say, is when your liver gets inflamed due to toxins, excessive alcohol use, some medications, and then the virus gets into your body, and then it grows over time, and then it infects your liver, and then our liver is where the hepatic duct in the liver. So when you hear hepatitis B, it's simply the inflammation of the liver. Someone might ask, why are we discussing about hepatitis B? Because we have several hepatitis. We have hepatitis A, C, and D. But why are we particular about hepatitis B? Well, the little I can tell you is hepatitis B is just like HIV virus. So it's a bit risky, just as we are all scared of of HIV virus. It goes hand in hand with HIV. So when one gets infected with hepatitis B, it's a bit dicey in terms of living his or her normal life. That's why we are particular about hepatitis B.
Oh, okay. So from what you just said, what it means is that hepatitis B is caused by a virus.
The Hep B virus.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, how do you the virus, how does it get into the body? Because we are all around, you don't know what you do to get it.
Right.
So how does the virus get into the liver, like you mentioned,
Right.
for the person to be said to have hepatitis B?
Okay, thank you. As I said earlier on, how does one get HIV virus is when the virus of an infected person gets into contact with an uninfected person. So Hep B2 is the same mode of transmission through sexual contact. That's when the virus of a reactive patient, that is someone who is having the Hep B virus, gets into contact with of an uninfected person through an open sore, through sexual contact, through blood, through semen, through even blood donation. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's a mode of transmission for the same as HIV.
Okay.
That goes with Hep B virus as well. I hope I have answered your question.
Okay, so I heard like from various sources say you can have like which mean from sweat. So how true is that?
Okay. One say also from sweat, and I mentioned open sores.
Okay.
So if I have Hep B and you don't have, and I get into contact with through my sweat, and then there's a crack on your skin, that means there can be a mode of entry into your body because there's an open sore on your skin, and then I'm having the virus, so it can be through my sweat into your open sore, then it gets into your body.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's like what we are really particular about is the sexual contact, because that's where it's about 90% of the mode of transmission.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we have all these different types of mode of transmission, but yeah, worry the sexual aspect because that's the most way let's say common way mode of transmission for hepatitis B.
Too.
Okay. Nti say obinya hepatitis B, what are some of the signs and symptoms?
One says Ghana, in fact, say Africa, this tropical area. In Tuntum high and pa. I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes.
One says in Tuntum high and pa, and you know, so binya typhoid poa. The presenting factors no ebianitie ne ya ne bosofunu no ne hwaye hye ne joint ye ne ya, all these I'm mentioning it falls under symptoms of Hep B. But what then a bit me man who say we no enye sebio enye typhoid enye malaria, but so nipa kon ne urine be very dark. I think so who say oja ne nan a clay, the color is it like I don't know how to say clay or trim, but any no any our normal poo no but say any no ye fita, yes, that means that now for both any so I yellowish, that means that the person has to go and get tested just to clear every other doubt. You see, you know, it presents itself like malaria, like jaundice, like typhoid, but never when pan say nipa no both after na yase ya ne both of no bibia na wafe afi ojun so a very very that's the Coca-Cola. You see, no so no yes na you say pekope na yell. The acute infection that started from 2 weeks onwards to 6 months.
Okay.
Still now you are having we treating malaria, we treating typhoid. Still now men feeling fine. When this was skin now yellow, ujun so she say once there's something wrong. That's when you have to get up and go get tested. And so I hope I've answered you.
Yes. So I was about to ask. Say the okay kind it could be malaria because sometimes obinya malaria and then nipa ni be yellow because obviously malaria and also red blood cells will be break it down which causes anyamani.
Yes.
So I was going to ask, but then we'll clarify that with okay say okay check number and you added other things to it separating it from malaria. And also you mentioned an important point, say the person needs to go to the hospital and be checked out because you will look at the person and think say oh nipa no malaria, but you've treated malaria malaria so there by now they will treat 3 days 4 days there at least so whenever you have that and you feel say oh ade we dey bia che enko enya the best thing ne say sell okano to go to the hospital. Na ya test ne ya check ahwe. Okay, so viewers and us, please like, share, and then subscribe. Okay, into say Obi ba hospital. Nebia say na waba presentation or the ba ini. Na if ope say like you're testing a debe test ena yebe yama nipa.
Let me get your question well.
Okay, so my question is, maybe someone comes to the hospital, they are not feeling well. Well, and they come with all these presentations that you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay. What test will be done for the person? Because I'm thinking, say, of course, once you are in Africa, when you go to the hospital, you have pregnancy, sorry, your pregnancy test, but then malaria, so your pregnancy, so
account typhoid and
not your account. So which other test in the other back come one say no, because it could be say all the other tests that is being done comes out negative. So the main test in particular will tell say, oh, this
okay, I get you now. One say we don't impose anything on because the patient has a right.
Yeah.
So we can just say, oh, patrol. Me person want to test we mommy. Na me person dey Hep B test in so count patrol. And money like the doctor will counsel you say when any bibia bon say waba nyame hu me person me ruling out say enye malaria. O person ye HIV kan ho. And our person yen count. Oh, doctor me person you cannot if any untimi yen she. But with the Hep B, beka che no. Oh, omo ye wa ha kona koye hwe. Na yen ruling out say enye no so ene ye o. Because doctors know who say uba general must say look at this small doctors omuktabuki they don't want to falter in any way bibiania or person run it testing na ma it's a bia you try and error he wants to rule out and give you the what you call the best treatment for what is wrong with you so be catch you say kona koye Hep B test mami nti ye na say negative what and then you come back and then look at other presenting factors probably it's weather typhoid probably maybe it's your lifestyle probably it's not even Hep B but the back of your liver function test maybe they could be okay liver no there's a small problem even though say unya hepatitis in here your liver might be wrong some way somehow so then they'll put you on treatment and then you give the proper lifestyles to go about it until Hep B test now obey.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the special tester
yes.
Okay. And so who can be BCCR say it could be say it's not Hep B, it's something else, meaning say other things apart from hepatitis, so to me I liver no. But then when you go na your test na it shows our way, which means say not only na it save you from BBI and cat what's na feel na one bar to me cause a problem later. Yeah, because liver no in ejuma see if something should happen to it and now him say like a baby any say for problems at the mouth. Okay, into from when our kind when Obi be hepatitis B tester, is there a special say counseling to say HIV so be counseling one sana hepatitis B there
that's why nipa ni negative and then they team but when you are positive when a person is positive you have to go through adherence counseling because treatment for HIV virus, so HIV, which is the ART, is you have to obey and I am found to so. But for counseling, you have to psych yourself because everything is about your mindset. Most people how when we do all right, but still now it's our mindset. So the counselor will psych you. Say that's not the end of the world. The number of people who are even reactive, but you wouldn't know because we haven't gotten to that stage. Until they will adherence counseling and say amount treatment. Amount treatment after 6 months, your viral load say is the virus being suppressed or they are still being like going up? Then we take it up from there. But I do better a dose just like the HIV. Medication.
Okay. So in care when I make about viral load, no. Normally, no, before we get to the treatments no viral load no does it determine say you know beto edro so ana yemfa onto edro so ana say what does it help with?
Okay, thank you. You know, when one is tested is reactive, we immediately put you on the medication. Then after 6 months, as I said, you come and then do the viral load test. So when the viral load in your body is high, it means that the how do you call it, you are not responding to
the
treatment.
medication.
Yes.
No? Okay.
So when it's low, it means that the medication is working.
But so are there instances where, let's say, obi beba viral load near kiti like ebia nipa no ne body a try say fight yeah, so although the person may test positive, you have the viral load being very low. And for obisa no, do you just monitor or would they also to a so?
Yes.
Would they need to
Once you are reactive, we need to put you on the medication.
Okay.
You see. But that's what I have to say.
So with the medication, no, let's say, do medication as well. Is it something that you
Ubejai
now said like you keep taking it like for life?
Well, I'll still relate it to ART of the HIV. It's U equals, which is undetected equals, if anything. And how do I even put it? When the viral load is low, it gets to a point that it becomes undetected. Yes,
yeah.
That is when you'll be advised to only stick to healthy lifestyles and then probably use a condom, because we just want to make sure, say, once you're undetected, you are free for life. And also, needs to say, you need to take the medication, let's say, after 6 to 1 year, before we can really see, okay, this the virus is now being undetected in your blood.
Okay, so with that, no, from what you may means, although it's undetected, no, you still monitor.
Yes.
How is the monitoring done? Like every 3 months, 6 months, and it's saying
normally when you are undetected, you're supposed to come every 6 months
to do the test.
Yes.
Yeah,
to find out but what I would say is, people who are undetected, a rare. It be a 1 out of 10. Even with HIV, ART medication, people who are undetected, a 1 out and a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
No man will be doing it for over a long period of time, and okay. And I mean, can I say, it's not like for 6 months. I know.
Then
it would, like, you'd have to go through phases before.
Oh, okay. So na treatment, adherence and all that, but we haven't really talked about the treatment. So if we could talk about the treatments, now
okay. Say we are on social media. Baby, they want to self-medicate. You know, I won't say a draw way.
Yeah. No, just the regimen of how it's taken. Say ebia yebeka say obefa ebia injection na obewo and tablets na obewo something like that, but not the name of the medication.
Oral medication na
okay. Okay.
And injection, oral medication. That's why I'm saying nipa no oba na say you befa counseling. Then you start with the medication.
Okay. And na ama you how, and then with that so you do continuous monitoring.
Yes.
To know the way.
Echo.
Okay. Okay. In can't way treatments ni BBI. We all know say the best when it comes to nyama bisi is to prevent it from air bubble, because you don't want to be treated. You want to prevent it.
Yes.
And see, nipa ne nya, then we don't need to treat. And see, me per se, yebe, like we talk about the preventive measure. Yes.
Okay. One sure way to prevent yourself from getting hepatitis is getting vaccinated. When you are 18 years and above, you need to go to the hospital. Even at Temajino, we have them just at the entrance there. They do all the labs. You know, it's just a walk-in. You get tested, and then when you are negative, you get vaccinated. Okay. With the vaccination, when you are ready, that day, you better like how you injected COVID, your left upper arm. But after 1 month, Near some was second dose amount. After the last dose, maybe after from 3 to 6 months going. If anyone will say, "Are you okay?" And also after 10 years, you need to go and check. Say, "Are you still safe?" Then you go for vaccination again. And you know, the sure way to prevent ourselves from getting Hep B is to get vaccinated. Because say, "Ma, what vaccinate you?" No, we don't do that. Even in as much as you are vaccinated, you need to protect your liver. You see, you need to stay hydrated, you need to exercise, you need to eat balanced meal, and then you need to, if I say, tell others, say, "Mako opinion no, you're safe." Into one so konakowobi, because we don't know as Accra to Tema. What's a church home? One thing because my men found home coming. Yes, you know, the sure way is to get vaccinated.
Okay.
Then live just healthy lifestyles.
You mentioned say 10 years.
Yes.
Into to say me warm injection we 10 years about. But then I recently checked antigens. Like I still had antibodies.
You checked.
Well,
you went to the lab.
Yeah, and checked. Check both Hep B antibodies and Hep B antigen.
Right.
So antigen was negative, and then antibodies here positive. But it's been more than 10 years. So do you advise I go again because I still have the antibodies? So
you have to go again.
Again.
Yes, because that is the routine of it. The schedule of the vaccine.
My body is still protecting me. I still have the antibodies.
I don't dispute that fact, but it's just for you to be on the safe side. You see, that's why we are saying after 10 years, come and renew your contract.
Hey. Because beginning after I had when I finished with Wayne, I'm expecting antibodies very positive even after a year. It wasn't. But then I knew had gone through the whole thing. And then later, when I tested again, the antibodies were positive. So I don't know if there was a delayed reaction into still there was not because
our bodies are all unique. Obiani how the body very reactive. But the bottom line is you are vaccinated.
I mean, okay, come feel so the bottom line is sign call will be come answer me who's up said me one injection and no one catch me.
But if you are traveling, they will check your records and they will say, "Oh, you had the last jab about 10 years ago." They will jab you.
Yeah, so how expensive is it?
Oh, I think it says 50 cedis or a day. Per job.
Hey, what kind of per job to say there? I don't know. Actually, so viewers, please, if you have any question, okay. In Tanzania, I gave it to us. But your question back is saying, can your body fight off hepatitis B on its own?
Before I'll come to the question, you know, your work even when you call your man who have B vaccination,
we mentioned,
yes. But as a chronic benigno, obey prone because at that time, not a free anymore, or at that time, he's getting in contact with so many things. If you're not going to self medication, it be a herbal concoction, it affects our liver. You see, so the body in no other way can fight off Hep B. And the same
but you know, this is a bit controversial because I remember checking a school normal we have to check and then be vaccinated against it. There were I think 2 people they almost wore vaccine but they had antibodies.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'm going to say it's a bit controversial.
Okay.
And so say warm.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So so at which point? So now I'm thinking because that time, Hep B wasn't part of immunization schedule. At that time, like Nipaconi time, like this is 30 something years ago. It wasn't part of the immunization schedule. So obviously on war injection. So she was now having to test, like both of them test and then get the vaccination. And then it turned out, say, antibodies. is it possible, say, at a point, maybe those two people, they had the infection, normal building antibodies and now say yes against, or sad way it's always
is it possible? It can be possible because we human beings, we are all created in our unique ways. Someone can, excuse my language, have sex with a reactive HIV patient. In fact, only about them several years. Couples, the man might not be infected, but the woman will be infected. People say, how come? It is possible that the man has a special antigen in his body that is fighting off the HIV infection naturally. People say, malaria.
Yeah.
Most, I think some sicklers I know.
Yeah.
They don't get malaria. So the body has its own antibodies fighting, if I'm saying, fighting against every malaria infection. So it is possible. But it is, let's say, 1 out of 50. Because in as much as there's vaccine, there can be some people who are on their own. They are immune to so many vaccines. So it is possible. I'm not going to sit here and then dispute it. It is very possible.
Because if Yanfan say, Yanfan is saying, you have a good immune system, like all the things you are saying, exercising well, eating well, the person is not leading any sedentary lifestyle or anything like that, very active and all that. Possible to say, and the body can. So, like you said, it's not something, it's controversial. It's not a straightforward way out. We can say, oh, say a na say yes, say nebe. Okay, so viewers, if you have a question, then you drop it on the comment section. So another question was saying, what food should you avoid if you have hepatitis B?
Okay, thank you. You know, the liver is solely responsible for breaking down of fats. So once your liver is under pressure, let's say Hep B, the person should do away with fatty foods, fried foods, like processed foods. The person should eat more of greens, lemon. Every morning, squeeze lemon into hot or warm, or according to however the person wants it. Now I know, lemon alone has been researched to be fighting off so many cancer cells, including hepatitis B virus.
Okay.
So when the person is reacting to Hep B, fried foods should be no. Processed foods should be no. Oils like nyoma angwa out. Even alcohol, they need to smoking out. And the person should exercise more and be, as we said, obey the DEA. Because what we eat is what makes us. You see, because if you are taking, they put you on, medication when you are reactive, and then you come home and you are still eating the junk food. Then what is the medication going to do in the system? Cause 90.
Yeah, because still all the pressure to live
and so you see, the person should detoxify. As I said, when you are eating apples, you are eating carrot, you are eating beets, you can even blend them together and add a dash of lemon. That alone is a detoxifier. And we shouldn't wait till we are prone to Hep B. It should be our lifestyle. I didn't make catch me here be 6 months ago. Because we do market and we be apple nibu ya dey say. Nti me ye calculation. Hey, okay, exameto, me dey exameto sa na 6 months apa. So we should do, the person should detoxify more. Make us say, ukoto na neje something. No.
I was going to say that because who mentioned detoxify, no. In my mind, I'm thinking, like, just as everyone else out there will think, say, okay, and they say, draw here, see, eji, a mama in eji way, into say, no, so make yeah, we are as part of way detoxification. So it was good you mentioned, say, not that, but then there are other things. Yeah.
You know, ginger, you can add it to whatever they are blending. Alone kwa betinyama uyem emu I can't say mean kase uyem behwe but a bit clear with system amount. And so when we detoxify using the right things, it puts less pressure on our liver.
Okay.
So that's what I have to say.
Okay. And then there's another question. Nipani say, is hepatitis B genetic?
it becomes genetic when the baby is exposed to a reactive mother. Please, did you understand my answer? It becomes genetic when the mother is Hep B reactive and then gives birth to a baby. Baby doesn't get any form of vaccination, but then the baby will inherit it from the mother. That's why when you come for A and C, you run all the tests, and then when you say you're reactive, you better catch on patrol. You be here say be pesca because I say a work no Hep B immunoglobulin, and no different from the Hep B vaccine. It's only for babies. But me who buy
mothers. Okay.
Yes, but who buy example. I'm B negative. So when I had my child, I was told say I was me taught immunoglobulin D.
Yeah.
And me
because maybe your partner was positive.
Yes, he was O positive and I'm B negative.
Yeah.
And for me to not have miscarriage for my subsequent children, I need to inject as soon as I give birth. You see, until when I got it through the hospital. What I say. So mother now I'm back hospital.
Oh, said this is the situation.
Well, I didn't Tracy because we have people who are living with Hep B and they don't even know.
Yeah.
You see, they don't even know because it can stay. Hep B can stay in our system for even 30 years before we say, hey, they name say Hep B.
Yeah.
So it becomes genetic when the baby is exposed to a reactive mother, and then the baby doesn't get any form of medical first aid in terms of getting the immunoglobulin, and then it becomes genetic.
Okay.
Thank you.
So before I ever to ask, there's another question, but I wanted to ask Ansana Mirefi because now maybe Sana Mirefi, yes, you see, I'm asking to answer. You mentioned, say, it could be, say, Obi war like two people, like partners, but one person has the other person that doesn't have. Is it possible, and I say, is it likely, say, Obi ba hospital? Now I'm funny say, oh yeah, Hep B positive. Do you encourage that the partners should also get tested?
Yes.
So some kind of way contact tracing with like, very close.
Yes, we do, because we need to rule out wherever the infection is coming from, because we can't treat only the mother and then leave out the partner.
Yeah.
So we encourage also be a test na mo share. No, who said this is the issue.
So that if there's medication.
Yes, so the not so.
Okay. Oh, Nancy Botchway that was say we share Irama Mary Poku. Una that was say ma tuning in na mo share. Please like, share, and then subscribe. Okay. So the other question is, I've had hepatitis B before. Does it mean it can reoccur if I don't go strictly according to the diets given?
Thank you. We have something we call co-infection. That is when someone who is Hep B reactive can get hepatitis D. That's what we call co-infection. It could be, say, when you're Hep B, one show who's we can get reinfection with even hepatitis D. You see, and that it can lead to liver cirrhosis and liver cancer and even to death. You see, so it can be possible. I hope I have answered your question.
So you just have to put in mind, say, whatever you've been asked to do, you have to keep doing it.
Right.
You don't stop just because if you are working in lab, say they can't detect it or anything like. You still keep doing it because your body is helping in a way. So if to say the whole alcohol, fatty foods, and all that, all the weaken liver, all the pressure manner.
Yes.
Of course, it won't be able to fight.
It will give up.
And then at a point, not only are you going to have the Hep B, but then other nyama so ebeba abe kahu. Okay. Inti say obinya hepatitis B. Normally, even you mentioned like HIV and way. How risky is it for that person or Hep B positive to get HIV?
Also mastery. And we are all prone to Hep B virus. It's not only someone who is hepatitis B reactive, but because already the body is fighting off an infection, which is a virus, it can easily get infected with HIV.
Okay.
You see. That is why you are being told to live a positive lifestyle. You should, if it's one partner, you should not be sleeping around. We were on you see our men, most of them don't use condom because almost say almost they yanko push that bomb. Yeah, we are the receiving end. Into yen I was say a boy won't buy. But say if there's the issue, it can be okay, and you can even get HIV if you don't check yourself. You don't live to say you are living anyhow. You can get it. Even you or no you be a people who are sleeping with men, like gay, lesbianism, people who are doing what say or what don't want drugs or who are not sharing the same needle.
The next person.
Pregnant women, even we health workers, we are even prone to be even is infection. You see, you know, and you we are even babies who are exposed to reactive mothers, they can also get. I hope I've answered your question.
I don't me say like maybe but then you've given the whole population likely said that's so be
I'll have to limit the
answers. No, it's good. That would have been a follow-up.
Okay.
I want answer follow-up question.
I see.
Okay. So the other thing was I think what answered that about to make it more way. So on the immunization schedule.
Right.
Yeah, well, hepatitis B.
Yes.
So
yes.
Well,
for babies.
For babies, no, yes. Into almost what in our year, which I think the last one is at 14 weeks.
Yes.
14 weeks. Or when we are not train when we the 18 and I say.
No, what test
okay.
Say, see how go school? Can me nursing school? A test I was just working the system like that, but you do one year job like you're testing. You those who were like positive, they had to take them out. They say yes, be your mom admission, but you know to
endorse.
And it was so traumatic. Me tell you bad nursing school but in all we just have to give God the glory because we are just working. We don't know, but it's God that takes care of us basically.
I think say more education should be done on Sanyama way because like you said, nipa no ko school. Onimpo so yare, but then oko because testing when it turns out say this is it. Meanwhile no enka onimbibi kakra about it wanka by now. Wakoye testing who said this is
the issue.
And then we'll know how manage like needed and all that na protecting or no ankasa nehu. So it's really sad say not a lot is said about Sanyama way because it can help.
It really does.
It can really help with
me no Ghana no baby funding ne ban HIV is a global something and we have kind of funds that are trooping in. Nancy I say COVID by and I say the focus has been shifted from HIV to COVID because that's the honor the funding you know ni na badge down the national quota. If funding is being pushed on hepatitis B awareness, why not? We'll make it because we believe say it is there. But over hospital we are public health nurses we be catch but I hear now bet media too one gasa on more campo was one she baby now pomo ya pomo nko hospital or just or go over the counter or go turn you do or come pay me baby at 90 and so be say this is the issue no now you're too late. That's why when you come to the hospital we try to educate but
but for the test for hepatitis B is it on the NHIS?
No,
it's not. Now that is the issue because if it were NHIS so we banner okase wo test no ne cannot tell so be but obi wo ho a o scan on ye but obi wo ho genuinely cannot afford so be a test. Well, so it becomes difficult and see it will be ways like to advocate say the testing and then if you are medication is it free or you have to pay for it?
That one I'm not really sure about it, but because I don't want to go
yeah.
Because testing ponye free.
No, the reason why Emma me beside and man can stress and me beside and say, one said to say HIV. It drone no before it used to be, yes.
It's still free.
It's still
free.
Ah, okay. That's free. How come I didn't want to stay straight away say treatments, no, do you get it? Because it's possible.
Treatment is not free.
Wow.
It's not free.
Wow.
That's what I would say. It's not free. But I think it has been subsidized. So a person can afford, but it's not free.
Okay. I do it there, no issue. Because this is something that you can get infected easily. But then placing wake it way be so
you are placing little emphasis on it.
Because you like in the home faso. Well, meanwhile, no, what ways to see Oliver a give up a semen quan.
Yes, because we don't have two, we only have one. It's not like the kidneys that they can even one. But it is well. What's a Ghana is God's nations. We be in the Bible page here. God can turn things around too.
Hey, nation be a boy. Nation be a boy. No, but these are things we need to like really talk about. I don't know how we say but I think say as much as we are putting more weight on HIV, we should do that for Hep B.
Right.
Because it's something and we to me easily seeing HIV. Because HIV needle sex, which of course you can get Hep B through all that. And then will be a positiveness sweat. So it makes it like more dangerous.
Tell me, see, but one thing is that we the black skin is unique. Because there me also bit my bruni is by me missing yame na na hwe oh njindi
that me jidi say yame na hwe won but it's just that all that we also have responsibilities but then all the time we keep saying say especially Ghana ye pesaka yame na hwe you know the right thing to do yame is sure all right because yame na hwe na nka edro na ofa ne bwanyi juma but what we are supposed to do,
I get you.
So it makes it
I get
very difficult. It's here for please like, share, and subscribe. Now say or question be na odia to so that you be to me answer question no. Now you funny say how different. I know say you can't Hep B, but how different is Hep B from the other types of way, to say A, C.
Okay, so with Hep A, you get it from the hepatitis A virus, but it's through ingestion of food, contaminated food for that matter.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's treatable. And then it's not a new to say hepatitis B where you can get it through sexual contact.
Okay.
So the difference is it's only Hep B that you get it through sexual contact, but the others get it through contaminated food and others maybe contaminated meat. And I want to say, me find this Ghana no, you journey no any but outside
you could nutrients no, and I say you could nutrients no. If you are the nutrients be because you are nutrients in there. When justify you could nutrients.
Okay, I'm not justifying, but I'm just trying to say that
at least we could.
Yes, food hygiene. Yeah, dear one. But with outside, we say, but free, shadan give shadan be sent. Kakrebi pen no more yare. Vitamin A, sorry, hepatitis B, A, and hepatitis C. It's mostly through ingestion of contaminated food, but Hep B is through sexual contact.
Okay, and I say with the C, you can also get it through blood transfusion.
Yes.
Okay. So those are the dangerous ones. Okay, into time yasu.
Oh,
but
so soon.
Yes, so I would like you to go over like what hepatitis is, the causative organisms, science, and like go summarize the way for us.
Thank you. Minka tree and a
oh, so I would say they fra into.
Okay. You know.
So for Obi or Hwa, I feel no abe joining. Aha, into yes, as no one.
Yes, yeah, can say then a hepatitis B. We said hepatitis B is when open, like kind of saying the virus from someone who is infected enters into the body of someone who is not infected. We say we get it through sexual contact, through open sores, through semen. You know, once you are intimate with the person is infected with Hep B, you can also get infected if you haven't vaccinated. We talked about ways through which you can get, but that's what we said, that when you are negative, you don't know, but the person is positive, you can get it through sexual contact. Now, for instance, you can
so I think about blood, even blood ABR will be donated blood in screening us or positive near the movie the person can yeah.
You know, you can say ways so will be a test to not say we are reactive. That's not the end of the world. It will be for counseling and say do better treatment na say. Now more viral load after 6 months of being on the treatment. So you're negative. First dose no, and doesn't give you any immunity. You have to count for the next month for the second dose. After you have to go for the third dose within 3 months onwards. You know, after 10 years, who be here so best for vaccination. So when you have hepatitis B, that's all we draw. So who be here say obeshu we did DG. And who be here say obeti me aye exercise. In case koye any vigorous beer, but so what mean nante ebia 10 minutes walk from maybe your house to where you're going to pick your car, and maybe I will come to one, maybe I'll take Sakumo no co ebia place ukotadia. He says over fakan, wait like so my nancy, now it's me for benefit. You can say, who did fatty foods are? It was so testo, so no mon son, it was so you feel cry, who smoking so dear boo because Tina a wiki liver. It said was so detoxify, and when tobacco pet herbal concoction, we have our vegetables. You can even blend cabbage, add a dash of ginger. No one know a beji uyemusa denina. Inti ehube here say obeko test it. Say, do I have or I don't have? When you have, it's not the end of the world. We put you on treatment. When you don't have, you get vaccinated. You live a positive lifestyle, and then you are good to go. So I think that's something small I can say.
And then we also talked about signs and symptoms. I can say it's similar to that of malaria.
Yes, I skipped that one.
Yes, but when you are treating and then still now when who say it's time so we go hospital now, we check it so that you be adipoting now. Osain can say sometimes it may be another form of maybe an infection and maybe and just say maybe I have B, but so one go check here, you never know, and then it will keep damaging your liver. Now and also akufa asem amount. Okay, so there's a question here. Say does hepatitis B lead to liver cancer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
When it is also we said that the acute symptoms. And yeah, within 2 weeks to 6 months, foul. Then you go run all the checks and then you're put on treatment if you are positive. But obviously that's nasty. 30 years. That time no. Now we need to say there's the issue.
Yeah.
But question now when I had damage, it can lead to liver cancer, liver cirrhosis. So bones na ne foie droit, ne nima puffy, ne liver, and
and what we have to remember is say cancer not only it's inflammation into meningi, just cell divisions into meningi. But this is the case when you have hepatitis, literally like inflammation of the liver, why you see treat your own treaty Adriana diet was so no. So inflammation becomes chronic and then it keeps in chronic you are managing it a bit, but instead say managing all the time because of all these things or no mensa or smoky or the fatty way, you keep putting it in the acute phase, although it's chronic. Now I say acute chronic, you keep doing that, and of course, it will lead to cancer because yes, it causes a lot of changes. And cancer, no, it just changes our body needs to me anyway. Yeah, so it's something that I was say yes, shepa, because you don't want BB to our to me a preventi, na say one manage a lead you say ubenya cancer. You don't want that, and you na yenim cancer. The bad things are who live as so who here and to say nya yaresa, then that will be the end of. Sometimes you may not die but you may wish for say what die, because then your quality of life and your baby papi bia. So you wish say we when the unim say we woke up, you don't have any pain, you don't have any BBR. So because what's the point in over age man, then you get to baby in life, and then you are using sikana ibia the best but also enjoy no they show where to draw all the time. So it doesn't help it doesn't help situation no?
Right.
Okay, nti it's for Hep B na ye kan ho asem no, nti ye be bom ye be sre obi ase kakra na yate no yenso ye be ka kire obi
afoforo
na nipa no so wetumi abo ne ho ban ama adeboni bia anto obia. Nti yes say one kasa mbe den mo be hwe na mo etu mo hofo na mo etu other nkofo sofo ama ye na no ye lead healthy lifestyles, because say when we are healthy the nation is healthy.
Exactly.
But when we are sick we spend so much on treatments, and yet wo individual ne pe na affect it. That's one thing we forget. We keep thinking, say, but no, it affects not just the individual, the family, community, or and the nation as a whole. Because imagine if more than half of your population they are down with some kind of yaribia, ebe day na omwa yewe ye to me a movie way country ne forward. So this is something that we should really work on na ebe bwa ye na. Okay. Tefonti yedamase say ma joining na yes our discussion way enti ansa na ye be kono me bobo sponsors ne so Promise City TV online. If you want to advertise your product, you can call 024 380 4878. That is 024 380 4676. Ben Benny Travel Consult say when you call them, they will help you with your travel arrangements, your ticketing and everything. All you need to do is call them on 0244 36 2445. 0244 36 2445. Lighters Media, omo boa a produce show way. Inti se wo hia any who media needs and se wo hia solution bia eno ani se wo be from 054 817 9863 054 817 9863 and I say 0577 179863. Abba Partners, they are the sponsors of your Salvation is Now crusade. O support and now o partner so that the word of God can be taken to places. All you have to do is to call 024 380 4676. That is 024 380 4676. Hemco Enterprise. Why you say insure we cannot do away with water. Whatever ye bia insure can program bia na bibia ube here insure even wo fiepo ube here insure obede ube nom eho na Hemco ebem dia omo ye water depot omo 2 branches back wo Temako 22 na the other one no Dowenya. So we here insure for bibia wo frɛ on hima on 0244 32883 obebwao. That is 0244 32883. 883. Field Automation Limited from 050 49393955. Omobebwa, that is 050 49393955. So adi yen say they are into roofing and block making machine, construction and batching plant, installation, servicing, and modification of all kinds of machines. Osan here omo ye general clearing of goods and services, importation, exportation, freight management, and a door-to-door service. Ofre Prissy Logistics. It was 024 6658 161. Wow. That is 024 6658 161. And I say 0244 777 276. 0244 777 276. Kenley Company, they are located opposite Tema Sports Stadium. Say adio so yen say they buy and sell new and used furniture. From 0244 219 633 wow. 0244 219 633. Obe sign unsa itumi aka omo 054 514 7679. 054 514 7679. Decovas Enterprise. So we here, so we be retail amount for a year, decoration for wedding engagements. We here fruit baskets. Bibia ebe ube here all kinds of decoration needs are ubia when you call them on 0244 260080 omobe wow. The number again is 0244 260080. Reps Household Limited. Almost so they are into cash and credit sales of all gadgets. Gadgets be with air washing machine, fridge, TV, nisanyama way na. When you contact them on 024 381 7534 Ombebwa. That is 024 381 7534. And now say 054 6090 054 6090 E-Fashion and Boutique. Ye experts in kids and unisex African wear. Ubia Nimomo as the home of African designs. So we here so Pam African prints via now Tobia. When you go there, you can get all the designs that you want. We here on more to me from 0244 084 240 0244 084 240. Afi so person WhatsApp your money be obisa question be ahead so be one. You can WhatsApp them on 024 5791 365. That is 024 5791 365. It's here for me person go over PCTV programs Nibium. Mondays to Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We have the Visitation Hour with Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajiman Prempe. On Thursdays, between the hours of 3 to 4 p.m., your Inspirational Hour with Pastor Jessica. And then on Sundays, between the hours of 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., we have our Health Talk show. Inti ansana yebekono mepese medamuna sese mo joining for ende program no na mo asen aboa me na madam Zenobia ase say your friend onya time no ba ye na oni ebe discuss bibi important as hepatitis B ebe boa ye na yesua na yetumi abo ye ho ban because as we all know we say prevention is better than cure nso tia eboa no waye den wabo ho ban ama we ndu baby a afi na wo say ye treat you. So Madam Zenobia, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. You're always welcome.
Okay,
it's for having me too as well.
Mutse Madam Zenobia no so any dey say oba ye no be che kakra. Oh yeah. Inti happy say na. So thank you and we pray say you join us next week. say yedi program ne beba na yasen abe discussi bibi fufo yeda mo ase nyame nhwe ye na yeso na ye nhia nyame boa next week Sunday. Bye bye.
Bye.